Hello, and welcome to the Soundwave Podcast. Music, technologies, stories. For people who love the art and science of listening to and enjoying recorded music. Here it's all about the art and magic of sound reproduction and related human stories. We survey music, technology, and stories from the early beginnings of relatively low high fidelity to the heyday of the 70s high fidelity and the modern age of digital and streaming. I'm your host, Pat Shepard. Happy belated birthday to Spatial Audio. Apple released Spatial Audio on June 7th, 2022. And by a long shot, my episode, Spatial Audio, What Is It? Where Did It Come From? And Where It May Be Going, which was Season 1, Episode 5, was by far my most popular episode. So, in this episode, I'll do an update on what's going on with Spatial Audio, recent developments, and things you should know to get the most out of Spatial Audio. I admit that this is coming from an Apple-oriented perspective, but hey, they are the ones who are really innovating in the audio space currently. I'll start out with a few updates such as Apple Music Sessions, which are recorded directly in Spatial Audio. I'll look at what the competition, i.e. Spotify, is doing, and then talk about Apple iOS 16's ability to create personalized spatial audio, what it is, and how to set it up. Interestingly, I'm experimenting using the microphone built into my Apple AirPod Maxes to record this episode. Spatial Audio Recap. Just as a reminder, Spatial Audio places sounds in a full 360-degree surround sound, where individual sounds, instruments in this context, can be precisely placed and not just pan left or right, but up or down, in front and behind. In a movie, it could make an incoming helicopter really seem like it's coming in from behind left and moving to in front right. For music, it means that the instruments have much more clarity and are in very specific parts of the soundstage, almost as if you're standing in front of the musicians as they perform. We now have more than half the worldwide Apple Music subscriber base listening in Spatial Audio, and that number is actually growing really, really fast, says Oliver Shisher, VP of Apple Music and Beats. A look at the competition from TechRadar. The whole Apple Music Sessions concept is doubtlessly Apple's response to Spotify Sessions. The name sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? But Spotify has yet to launch its higher resolution Spotify Hi-Fi tier, which it promised to unveil by the end of 2021, but didn't, or to add any Dolby Atmos enhanced music to its catalog. Despite recently hiking its prices for its student plan, Apple Music is a cut above the rest and now superior to even long-standing audiophile choice Tidal. And with Spatial Audio and more sessions promised, Tim Cook's behemoth has just laid down the best case for switching music streaming services yet. Apple Music Sessions. The first update that I want to talk about is that on July 15th, Apple Music premiered Apple Music Sessions, exclusive live releases all done in Spatial Audio that, much like Spotify Sessions, revolves around live performances from big-name artists at an in-house venue. The company doesn't shy away from talking about its competition at this time. It's hoping to draw in some Spotify converts, or at least keep Apple Music fans from jumping ship. From Apple. Recorded out of our Apple Music studios around the world, Apple Music Sessions gives artists the opportunity to reimagine and recreate hits from their catalog and creative covers of their beloved classics. These unique performances are also filmed, resulting in a special, bespoke live collection comprised of brand new Spatial Audio tracks and companion live performance music videos that will all be available exclusively on Apple Music for Apple Music fans. Apple Music Sessions launched with releases from Carrie Underwood and Tenille Townes, recorded out of Apple Music's new state-of-the-art studios in Nashville, Tennessee. Upcoming releases will feature the likes of Ingrid Andress, Ronnie Dunn, and others. There will be releases from other genres, so don't worry if you prefer live music without the twang. My grandma used to always say, "My favorite kind of tea is honest tea." And I have to say that I am not a huge country music fan, nor a fan of either of these two performers. I hadn't even heard of Tennille Townes before working on this episode. And going back to the 3 M's of music, see Season 2, Episode 1 of the Soundwave Show on Corey Wong, the 3 M's of music are 1. Musicianship, the craft of learning and playing an instrument and mastering it to the point where you can express your own true voice. 2. Message, what is the meaning of the song? Are the lyrics at least positive? Do they cover important topics and observations that I can reflect on and grow from? And finally, 3, motivation. What is the story behind the artist, and why are they trying to do what they are doing? Are they driving positivity? These are always critical to me. And after listening to Carrie Underwood's songs in music sessions, I listened to Ghost Story, Blown Away, and Mama, I'm Coming Home, I felt that her performances were very competent and heartfelt, but the messages, lyrics, left me wishing for something a little more. While the lyrics are all poignant, Ghost Story's lyrics revolve around a failed relationship and threats of haunting the other's thoughts. Blown Away is about someone with a likely abusive father who seeks shelter from a twister but neglects to wake up and save the parent. Mama, I'm Coming Home is about a guy who misses his mate in a very on and off again relationship. Still, all of this is better than just about anything in the mumble rap genre. That said, the spatial audio quality was incredible. Using Mama, I'm Coming Home as an example, the sound was precise, deep, and crisp. However, I found that the audio in the video seemed to be somewhat richer than the audio only track. In fact, for me, head tracking seemed to only work when I was listening and watching the video track. It is worth noting that at the time of this podcast, there are 5 albums from different artists. There's Miley Cyrus, Ronnie Dunn, Carrie Underwood, Tennille Townes, and Tanner Adele. There's also a horribly auto-tune drenched single from Norman North, which is actually both poignant and meaningful from a lyric standpoint. A young man wishing he could undo some of the things that he did and regretting certain life choices. So now let's talk about personalized spatial audio. A personal spatial audio profile customizes audio to better match how you personally hear sound. You create a spatial audio profile using your iPhone with iOS 16, which uses the True Depth camera to create a representation of your ear and head shape. According to Apple, who I've found to be fairly trustworthy, camera data used to develop your profile is processed entirely on the device and images are not stored. Your personalized spatial audio profile is based on the scans of your head, which takes into account the geometry of your head and the position of your ears. With this information, Apple is able to better cater the spatial audio sphere of sorts around your head to act more realistically to where your ears are placed. Put simply, everyone's ears are different, and there is no such thing as a symmetrical pair of ears. Your personal profile for spatial audio will sync across your Apple devices using end-to-end encryption if you use iCloud, and it cannot be read by Apple. Personalized spatial audio uses your personal profile during audio playback to change how the audio is rendered on connected devices like AirPods. To set up personalized spatial audio, you need an iPhone with iOS 16 and the True Depth camera. You create personalized spatial profile by going to your iPhone, going to settings, your specific spatial audio enabled device, personalized spatial audio, set up personalized spatial audio. To capture the front view, you hold your phone about 12 inches directly in front of you and position your face in the camera frame, and then slowly move your head in a circle, allow all the angles to be captured. Then you click continue. To capture the view of your right ear, hold your phone with your right hand and move your right arm at a 45 degree to your right, and then turn your head slightly to the left. To capture the view of your left ear, you do the same thing, only with the left hand. Interestingly, it is smart enough to warn you that you need to take off your device, your AirPod Max or your AirPod Pro Max in my case, to actually continue this process. Unfortunately, you can't just turn off the profile. When you select Stop Using Personalized Audio, you actually delete the profile. You delete the profile by going to your personal profile for spatial audio at any time. On your device, you can go to that device, Spatial Audio, and then tap on Stop Using Profile. Disabling the personalized spatial audio will delete the profile from all your devices. And unfortunately, because this process takes a little bit of time to accomplish, creating the profile and then deleting it, it's hard to do a true test of the same song back to back, like Mama, I'm Coming Home, which I talked about earlier, with and without the personalized audio profile, because you have to go through this whole process. But I did try to do that, and I will say that the sound seemed just a little clearer and with a wider and more enveloping sound stage than without the profile enabled. Each instrument has a much stronger sense of placement within the space that is generated around you. So overall, I'd say it's a kind of a nice tweak. So if you haven't given spatial audio a listen, give it a try. It's definitely worthwhile. If you haven't tried personalized spatial audio, give that a try too. And while you're at it, give Apple Music Sessions a quick listen. I found it to be pretty intriguing. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found this update on spatial audio, Apple Music Sessions, and personalized spatial audio to be very interesting. Please visit my website where I've referenced links used in the creation of this episode, such as TechRadar. All content except where noted or referenced is copyright Pat Shepard and thesoundwaveshow.com. The theme song is something I put together in GarageBand, admittedly with loops. See you next time.